It was just another quiet evening in a small town diner, the kind of place where the smell of coffee lingers longer than the customers do. Outside, rain tapped softly against the windows, and the clock above the counter ticked lazily past 7:30 p.m. That's when the door creaked open. Everyone turned. An old woman stood there, thin, trembling, her gray hair damp from the rain. She clutched a small purse to her chest as if it were holding her last bit of strength. The waitress, Lily, barely 22, forced a smile. "Good evening, ma'am. Table for one?" The old lady nodded slowly, whispering, "Just a cup of water, dear, if that's all right." A cup of water? That's all she wanted? Lily hesitated. Customers don't usually walk in from the storm just for water. Was she lost? Homeless? Something about the woman's eyes caught her, a strange calmness, like someone who'd seen more storms than this one. As Lily poured the water, her mind filled with questions. Who was she? Why did she come here, alone, in the rain? And what did she really want? Friends, you won't believe what happened next, because that simple cup of water wasn't just a drink. It was a test. Lily placed the glass on the table gently. The old woman smiled, hands shaking as she lifted it. "Thank you, child," she said, her voice faint but kind. Something about her tone made Lily pause, polite, grateful, almost royal in grace. But still, whispers crept through Lily's mind. Maybe she's one of those people who go around asking for free things. Lily's coworker, Jenna, leaned in from behind the counter and murmured, "Another freeloader? Don't waste time. She's not ordering." But Lily couldn't bring herself to walk away. There was something off. The woman didn't look desperate, more dignified, even in her worn clothes. "Are you sure you don't want anything else, ma'am?" Lily asked softly. The old woman smiled again. "Water is enough for a thirsty soul." That line echoed in Lily's heart. Who talks like that anymore? As Lily returned behind the counter, she couldn't stop glancing back at the woman, now staring out the rain-drenched window. Somehow, she felt this moment mattered, even though she didn't know why. What Lily didn't realize was that this small act of hesitation, her decision to treat the woman kindly, was already being watched and judged. As minutes passed, quiet murmurs filled the diner. A group of teenagers giggled in the corner. "Hey, look at her. She's been nursing that water for 10 minutes, one of them whispered. A man at another table muttered, "If she's not buying, she should leave. Some people just want free warmth." The words pierced Lily's heart. She wanted to defend the old woman, but what could she say? Even the manager, Mr. Rick, glanced over his newspaper and frowned. "Lily," he said under his breath, "you know the policy. Tables are for paying customers." Lily bit her lip. "I know, sir, but she looks tired." Rick sighed. "You've got a soft spot, girl, but kindness doesn't pay the bills." The old woman seemed unaware, or maybe she pretended not to hear. Her gaze stayed on the rain, lost in memories. And then she whispered softly, almost to herself, "The world tests us in small ways." Lily froze. Did she just hear that? Tests. How could she possibly know she was being judged too? Something in the air shifted. The story was no longer about a cup of water. It was about what kind of hearts were in that diner tonight.
Lily approached again, heart conflicted. "Would you like me to refill that for you?" The woman looked up, her eyes shimmering with age and warmth. "Thank you, dear. You're kind. What's your name?" "Lily." "Ah, like the flower." She smiled faintly. "Do you know lilies grow even in dirt?" That sentence hit Lily strangely deep. As she poured more water, the woman's trembling hand reached out, touching hers gently. "Bless you, child," she whispered. Lily felt a chill, not from fear, but from something she couldn't explain. It was as if that fragile touch carried years of sorrow and wisdom. "Thank you," Lily said quietly. "Would you like something warm to eat?" The woman hesitated. "If it's not too much trouble, maybe a small bowl of soup?" Lily smiled. "Coming right up." As she turned to place the order, she realized she'd broken a rule, serving without payment up front. But for some reason, she didn't care. Little did she know, that one bowl of soup would change everything, not just for her, but for everyone in that diner. When the steaming bowl of soup arrived, the old woman's eyes filled with gratitude. "You're very kind, Lily," she said softly. "I'll pay you back soon." Lily smiled nervously. "Don't worry about it, ma'am. Just enjoy your meal." But her kindness didn't go unnoticed. From the corner, the manager's glare could be felt like a storm brewing. He walked over, voice sharp. "Lily, what is this? She didn't pay." Lily swallowed. "She's hurry, sir. I couldn't—" "Couldn't what? Give away food from our profits?" The old woman looked up calmly. "It's all right, young man. I'll pay soon." Rick scoffed. "Sure you will. Eat quick and go." The diner fell silent. Even the teenagers stopped whispering. The old lady bowed her head and continued sipping slowly, not out of pride, but peace. Lily's hands trembled. She wanted to say something, anything, but fear held her back. Why was this affecting her so much? Why did it hurt to see someone treated like that? Because deep down, Lily remembered her own grandmother, who once said, "Kindness is never wasted, even when unseen." But tonight, that belief was about to be tested harder than ever. After closing hours, tension filled the diner. The rain had stopped, leaving behind the faint smell of wet earth. The old woman sat quietly, folding her napkin, her soup finished. Rick crossed his arms. "All right, ma'am, time to settle the bill." She looked up gently. "Of course, dear, but I'm afraid I left my wallet at home." Lily's heart sank. Rick exploded. "Unbelievable! Lily, I told you this would happen." He turned to the old woman. "You can't just walk in, eat, and expect charity." The old woman didn't flinch. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean harm." Lily stepped forward. "I'll cover her bill, sir." Rick glared. "Out of your paycheck, you understand that?" Lily nodded. "Yes." The old woman smiled weakly. "You have a good heart, Lily. The world needs more like you." She slowly stood up, leaning on her cane. "Thank you for the water and the kindness." As she walked toward the door, the bell chimed softly, and she disappeared into the night. Lily sighed. Something about her departure felt final, almost like goodbye. None of them realized she wasn't done with them yet. The next morning, the diner opened as usual. Lily came in early, her mind still on the old woman. Something about her words replayed over and over. The world tests us in small ways. As she cleaned the same table, she noticed an envelope tucked under the sugar holder, sealed with golden wax. Her name was written in elegant handwriting, "For Lily." Her heart raced. She called Rick over, hands trembling. "Sir, look at this." He frowned, snatched the envelope, and broke the seal. Inside was a handwritten note and a small check. Rick's eyes widened. This can't be real." He read aloud, "To the waitress who offered kindness without judgment, thank you. I am the widow of the diner's original owner. For years I have returned quietly, disguised, to see if my husband's legacy of kindness still lives here. Yesterday, I found my answer." The check fluttered in his hand. $250,000. Rick went silent. So did everyone else. The note ended, "Lily, your compassion restored my faith. This diner and all its earnings now belong to you. Continue what we built long ago, a place where kindness feeds the hungry." Lily covered her mouth, tears falling freely. The woman she thought was poor was an angel in disguise. Rick dropped to a chair, speechless. Lily couldn't believe it. The old lady had been testing them all along. Every word, every glance, every tremble of her hand had meaning. She wasn't looking for food. She was looking for hearts. Lily whispered through tears, "I failed to defend her more strongly. And still, she rewarded me." Rick lowered his head in shame. "I judged her." The same teenagers from last night came in, hearing the story from others. One of them said softly, "Miss, was that really her? The founder's wife?" Lily nodded. "Yes, and she left us a lesson." They all gathered around the table where it happened. The empty cup of water still sat there, glistening in the morning sun, like a silent symbol. That's when Lily said something none of them forgot. "You never know when your kindness is being measured, but it always is." The diner that once echoed with whispers of judgment now fell silent, filled only with awe and the quiet echo of compassion. From that day on, Lily ran the diner differently. She placed a small wooden sign at the entrance. It read, "A cup of water is always free, and so is kindness." People from nearby towns began visiting, not for the food, but for the warmth they felt there. Rick stayed on, humbled and changed, helping Lily grow the place into a sanctuary for anyone in need. And every rainy night, Lily would look out the window, hoping to see that old woman again, even just her reflection. Friends, sometimes life disguises its greatest tests in the smallest requests. A cup of water, a kind word, a moment of patience, all can reveal who we truly are. The world doesn't test us with grand trials, but with quiet opportunities to choose love over indifference. If this story touched your heart, share it, because somewhere out there, another Lily might need to be reminded, kindness never goes unnoticed. Tell us in the comments, would you have served that cup of water, or would you have walked away, never knowing the miracle you missed? Because, friends, the richest hearts are the ones that never count the cost of compassion.